7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Play fake, and Farmer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great play. That's a way.
Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scores!
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him! Wow! Edwards pulls off and buries the flag!
Jackson, number 7, Kyle Walker.
That is the new Samuel school record, 6 home bases and single game for Chicago.
Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch, my peeps. Happy Thirsty Thursday. Come get your Sun Devil thirst quenched. A lot of quenching there last night in the ASU baseball game, my friends, as yes, they put up 17 runs. Yes, they beat Long Beach State, swept them. Now that's 5 in a row. Their 30th win of the season for Coach Bloomquist, who we will hear from, and the team. You saw a lot of the output right there. The home run by Isaiah Jackson, that thing literally had a looked like it was an airplane taking off, man. I mean, it just, you saw it. It jumped out. I'll show it again later. But, yeah, Cyan Michael Caratenuto at Diablos00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1. Also, you can check it out. You guys know this on my IG at michael.caratenuto.5. Yes, it is there as well. Go to YouTube, guys. You can watch live on YouTube. I think you should watch live on YouTube. But also when you're there, subscribe to my channel because, again, you've missed a ton of con reviews this week alone. We talked to both sides of the ball on football after spring practice wrapped up, spring ball wrapped up. We talked to Keith Abney II on Tuesday. We talked to Kyson Sip Brown yesterday. Again, getting perspectives from both sides of the ball, and we'll, again, more guests coming along, but there are a ton of con reviews you have missed. So go to YouTube, because like I said, you can subscribe to my channel, but you can binge watch everything you've missed. And yes, a lot of guests have been on multiple times. So, you kind of want to connect the storyline. We have some fun with it. And, from talking to Keith and Kyson, that we have I have restarted. I've amped up Tank to Tempe for CJ Fight, his dog Tank, his parents. Again, always great to see them. Saw him at Fan Fest and got to talk to him for a while. It's absolutely awesome. Also met Zachariah Samples dad as well. It was awesome to catch up and talk to him. But yeah, we're going to get Tank to Tempe or Tank to Camp T. You can help out with that hashtag. We'll go more into it. But yes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You see my name, Michael Caratenuto, but it's M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, guys. And subscribe. Because like I said, anything you've missed, coaches, players, voices, insiders, analysts, alum have all been here. All of them. Every single one of them have, not every single alum in history, but hey, we're getting there. We are getting there. We've had on the show. So again, you can, if you just started watching, again, I love having you here on Pitchfork Lunch. Go back to season 1, binge watch season 1. I mean, yes, there is a lot. It goes from pretty much August to August, September to June. But still, you can binge watch it. And then anything you haven't seen of season 2, guess what? Watch those. And then you've already watched these episodes. And then by the time season 3 starts, again, we're going to get it rolling. We're going to have I got some awesome stuff outlined for Camp T. In the works. Definitely want to get that done. And yeah, it'll be fun. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time with it. Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun with it and go from there. So, yeah, trying to get a lot of stuff done, and we shall do it. Yeah, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Also, for those of you watching, you can let your friends know that you are able to listen to Pitchfork Lunch all around the world, as Sun Devils should be infusing. I mean, obviously, Cam Scatterby drafted by the Giants. Melquan Stovall has got an invite now to come out to the Bucks. Xavier Guillory forks up. Obviously, had him on the show. He is headed to Baltimore. Lee Fontanu headed to Detroit. Yes, they were undrafted free agents, but still trying to make NFL squads. And knowing those guys, yeah, I mean, look, they know they're going to have to put it in, but they can do it, man. They can definitely do it. And then Cam Scatterby is a giant, which is, again, awesome for him. Young man, again, just solid his first year here from Sacramento State 2 seasons ago, and last season. Yeah, we don't need to go over it again, guys. You know it all there. But you can listen to Pitchfork Lunch all around the world on the Casual Sports Radio Network. All you have to do is go to www.ksrnaz.com. Click Listen Live. Page will come up, click Listen Live, hit play, bam. Monday through Friday, there is Pitchfork Lunch. Again, So Stoked Casual E invited us into the KSRN family just to get the Sun Devil, more Sun Devil content driven there. And I was much obliged to obviously do it. So again, go to www.ksrnaz.com. Look, you're driving around, you can stream it through your Bluetooth. Go to the website because, again, you're driving. Of course, I want you to watch, but you can hear it just as good. And, don't watch, pay attention to the road. You're Sun Devils. I tell you, I know you're smart. You'll pay attention to the road. You get to where you're going. Hey, you're going to meet some people for some Thirsty Thursday stuff. So for some, for some sodas, all that good stuff. Hey, listen in the car on the way. When you get there, guess what? With your lunch and your sodas, you can still listen, or you can watch the other avenues I've gave you. But again, absolutely awesome to be a part of the Casual Sports Radio Network. For everything, guys, I'm going to remind you again, subscribe to their socials because, man, Casual E has you hooked up when it comes to the Suns, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals, and the Mercury. And obviously now mini camps are going to get going here shortly. Well, the rookie mini camps out of the draft for football. So he'll have you covered with the Cardinals, and then the obviously the Sun. Well, NBA playoffs are going on, but I mean, we'll have the draft lottery pretty soon, and then the draft will come up shortly after that. Then we'll have summer camp in Vegas, and I'll have you hooked up. Casually, you'll have you hooked up with all the Suns. So that part is absolutely awesome. And then with the Diamondbacks, obviously their season rolling as they are getting into it, as they're into it, definitely into it now. And they are back east right now, I want to say. East Coast road trip for the D-backs. And Mercury, obviously their training camp is going to be coming up shortly. So again, subscribe to the socials. You'll be all hooked up. But again, www.ksrnaz.com. Again, page opens up. Click Listen Live, hit play Monday through Friday. Here we are, Forks Up, Pitchfork Lunch. So, but yes, on the way in, you guys saw and heard the just domination from baseball last night. As again, they get the 2-game sweep over Long Beach State. Both games were run ruled as they won 11-1 in 8 innings on Tuesday. And then last night I was there, sent a lot of you guys updates. We had a record-breaking night, but they win 17-6. They scored in every inning. As I'm tweeting and saying they keep scoring, I forgot to kind of mention that. But it's kind of a bigger night too, because I showed it to you on the way in, my friends, that you can you'll be able to see again here is so he and Vu for a single game record, stolen bases in a single game by one player, by a single player. Key and Vu did that last night. And the person he took it from, we will actually hear from later. Yep, that's going to be a tease. So you guys got to stick around, come back, but we'll hear from later. The person who had the record of the single game record for a single player stolen bases. But yeah, I'll put it up. And right here, again, those listening on KSRN, I shall describe, but here it is. There we go. Yeah, so you see him leaving a little bit, those watching, but yeah, I had to I was like, oh, let me get this, because I'm guessing he's going to try and steal third, because they were able to run on these pitchers, on the Long Beach State pitchers. So while Kian Vu was able to just own the bases. So right here, he has 5. He had tied the record, and then bam, the pitch comes in.
That is the new second world school record, 6 stolen bases.
6 stolen bases in a single game, a program record. Yes, the previous was 5, and it had been a minute since that was broken. But yes, for those listening on KSRN, those watching, show it one more time, because again, it's just absolutely awesome. Here it is. You see the throw.
That is the new second world school
Getting
record,
healthier
6
too,
stolen
by the way,
bases in
guys.
a single game for Kian Vu.
So yes, that is another Sun Devil baseball record. Again, just last week, 6 home runs in an inning, 8 home runs in a game. And now Kian Vu puts his name individually in the record books as a single game stolen base leader with 6 stolen guys. Look, that's like playing the video games back in the day when they came out, because you could, the original video games, just like that's why John Madden, rest in peace, Coach Madden, but that's why John Madden was got more involved, because on Madden, I mean, even before Madden, you'd go for it a lot of times on 4th and like 15, 20, and you would sit there and like pick a lot of them up. It's like, come on, that's just not reality. But yeah, stealing 6 bases in a game, that's like playing old school video games there, old school MLB games and stuff like that. So yeah, and you saw Brody Briggs. I'm gonna actually show this again real quick, because Brody Briggs, I want to say, is this Briggs? Let's see here. Let me see if it is. Yeah, so this is Brody Briggs. It's a finger, right? Comes around, and I picked it up a little late because I hit record, popped it, and I realized. But anyway, it's Briggs for the home run. Walker trying to green up there, man. Where's the key? Yep, up top of the dugout. A little clap. Watch Briggs, guys. Those watchers. Okay, it's right. Down in the just big high fiving everybody, and then he gets to one of the coaches at the end. He gives him a hug, and then puts his stick down, and then there, look at that, there goes the dugout. So a little fun. I'm trying to get a little explanation on that post game, but you'll hear what's said about that. But yeah, Brody Briggs right there with again, he hit a dinger, and Isaiah Jackson, I mean, is just on fire as well. And that home run, like I said, he hit that out in a hurry. This one? Let me see. It might be this one. Oh, I think it's this one right here. But I want to get it, yeah, because I started it right as the pitch was coming. But look at, listen. I mean, you can hear it, guys. Yes, it's an aluminum bat. I know, baseball purists, I know. But I mean, his swing, everything he's worked on, with ever since Coach Ellison got here, is growing. I mean, just man. But look how fast he just crushes the ball. But look how fast it gets out, and I mean, yeah, he crushes it. But I mean, just to right field, and man, I'm trying to follow it, and yeah, it was like literally an airplane taking off. Phenomenal. This is Isaiah Jackson. It got out quick. Here you go again. There you go. Oh, what a crack there to right field. Now leave this because see, this is what celebration. But this is what home run celebration usually looks like. As dugouts there. Pretty much they're celebrating. And okay, yeah, there goes Isaiah Jackson into the dugout. But yeah, so they get the 17-6 win. I'll go through the numbers in a little bit. We'll hear from King and Vu, as well as Max Harlock spoke in a little bit. But yeah, post game. So King and Vu, and we'll hear from him. And that was yeah. So it's awesome. Again, 30-16, 30 wins. Coach Bloom, whoa, sorry about that. Coach Bloomquist has they've done it again, 30-16. Like I said, 14-7 now after the sweep of BYU. Now they're guys are on their way to Baylor. They're traveling today, so I'm guessing they're on a plane right now, or if not, they will be on a plane very shortly to head to Waco. And they take on Baylor again tomorrow at 4:30 local time, Saturday at noon local time, Sunday at 11 a.m. And so Friday, the game on radio is going to be on 1440 a.m. It's 1060 sister station, so KAZG 1440 a.m. I'll remind you tomorrow, don't worry. And then Saturday and Sunday are both on 1060 a.m. But like I said, 4:30 tomorrow, noon on Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sunday. And then then they come home next weekend. And so, yeah, it's going to be, well, senior night. I heard, and I will confirm for you, but I think they're going to honor the seniors on Friday night. So that's a 6:30 p.m. start. Yeah, it's a 6:30 p.m. start, and they're going to honor seniors Friday night, but they have Houston for their last home series. So again, Friday at 6:30, Saturday is going to be a 1, and then Sunday at 1. Then they host Grand Canyon on Tuesday. Then they finish up their season on the road at Oklahoma State, Stillwater. So they are going to finish up the season, the regular season there, and then the Big 12 tournament is in Arlington, Texas, at Globe Life Field, home of the Rangers, and that is May 20th through May 24th. So Tuesday through Saturday, my friends, and that's where they're at. But Baylor up first this weekend, 30-14. Again, I'll get into the numbers in a teeny bit. Also, what was it? Last weekend, I told you track and field. They were headed to Texas. And yeah, the 24th, Friday, well, it was Friday and Saturday all day, but 4 titles, 13 top 3 marks. Brandon Lloyd, 4th all-time in shot put in ASU history now. Brandon Lloyd has been crushing it. My apologies for not speaking about that of Brandon Lloyd, but yeah, so the 4th is now 4th all-time in shot put in ASU history. So they are rocking. And then Saturday, 2 days from today, they get to head down to that city down south and be a part of the Desert Heat Classic hosted by the school down south. Yes, they go to Tucson, and that's that. And then Lawrence, Kansas is the home of the Big 12 Outdoor Championships. It's May 15th through 17th. Lawrence, Kansas is where the Outdoor Championships, May 15th through 17th. And then the NCAA West Regionals are May 28th through 31st, Wednesday through Saturday. And that's where Texas A&M is hosting it, College Station, Texas, May 28th through 31st. And then the NCAA Outdoor Championships, you guys know where those are at from the Pac-12 days, but up in Eugene, Oregon. They are up there, and that is June 11th through 14th. So, again, track and field got a little bit left to go, but a lot of qualifiers for the Devils, and we will have some time to get some on. I will effort that. I will work that. And, again, as long as schedules permit, yes, we will talk, because I definitely want to catch up with Brandon Lloyd, Jaden Davis, and others. So, yes, I will effort that, but we're going to have some time. So that's the good news about that. So, but hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to hear from the record holder. A little more baseball. The record holder, Kian Vu, freshman Max Harlick, who got in the game last night pitching as well. Talk a little bit about the pitching, but we'll hear from Kian Vu and the guys, and then we'll also hear from Coach Bloomquist as well. So we shall step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
KSRN has an inside track.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
Are you good?
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean Conn.
Bird gang. I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those listening on the Casual Sports Radio Network, you are listening on the greatest internet radio station on the web. I am Michael Carastundo at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. See Pitchfork Lunch live there every day from 12 to 1, along with my IG at michael.carastundo.5, as you guys know. And also, don't forget about the YouTube channel. Again, go to YouTube, you see my name, Michael Carastundo. What's that? M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. And subscribe away as you're watching live as well, and then www.ksrnac.com. You guys know the avenues. But yes, let's get to it because again, last night this team had 14 strikeouts pitching wise to just one walk last night. Yes, one walk. Wyatt Halverson started the game, went 2 1/3. Yeah, gave up two home runs, not back to back, but I mean two home runs, but both times he rebounded and came back with I think he got one ground ball out, and then the other time I think it was one ground ball out and 2 strikeouts, or 1 strikeout. But either way, you want to see the response. Yes, of course, I know. As a pitcher, who doesn't hate to give up the home runs? I know you're all like, hey, thank you, Captain Obvious. But nonetheless, I mean, he did respond. He went 2 1/3, gave up 4 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. 6 Ks though to 1 walk. Then Easton Barrett came in. He went 2 1/3 as well. Just gave up 1 hit, no runs, had 5 Ks and no walks. And then Jake Neely came in for 1 1/3. Again, no hits, no runs, 1 K, no walks. Max Arlick came in for 2/3 of an inning. Again, same thing, no runs, no hits. And then he had 1 K and no walks. And Eli Buxton finished the last third of an inning. And he, no runs, no hits. And he had the 1 strikeout, no walks. So, 14 Ks to 1 walk. Yeah, we'll take that average, right? I mean, I know it might be confusing for the people down that like the school down south, but nonetheless, I kid because we care, right? We kid because we can make fun of them and we care. But yeah, heck of it again, pitching, but the offense. I mean, last night 16 for 33, so just an eyelash under batting 500 for the game. Up top again, Kyle Walker went 4 for 5 last night, guys. 4 for 5 with 2 runs scored. Landon Harrison was 2 for 2 with an RBI, 2 runs scored, and he also drew a walk. Yeah, there were 5 walks last night. Matt King was 2 for 2. He was 0 for 2, but he had 2 runs and he also had an RBI. He got walked with the bases loaded. But yeah, he was walked and hit by a pitch. So nobody wants to pitch. And his batting average now, guys, it's only at 410. I know you get the sarcasm, pitchfork punchers, but yeah, he's at 410 after last night. Isaiah Jackson was 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run scored, but he's at 298. So he's flirting with 300. And Brody Briggs again last night, 2 for 4. 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored for Mr. Briggs there, and he is now up to 293 batting average wise. So again, it seemed phenomenal. But Kian Vu, the star of the night, he was at the plate. He was 3 for 4. Yeah, 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored. He also drew a walk. And yes, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but a Sun Devil program record, a single game stolen base record with 6. Again, in the history of it, in the history of this program and the talent, and just not an easy thing to do. But yes, the record was 5, and you're going to find out who's who thinks they have nothing left in ASU baseball now, because this record has now been overtaken by Kian Vu. So, but yeah, let's hear from the guys. We'll hear from Jake Neely, Max Arlick, and like I said, mostly again, Kian Vu on his epic performance last night in the Devils' 17-6 victory. And again, they scored every inning. Real quick, by the way, 8 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. Obviously, they'd have to bat in the 7th because it was 17-6, and Long Beach State did not score. So ASU's like, cool, we're done. We're gonna get out of here a little bit. Well, not crazy early because they scored a lot of runs, but and head on to Baylor and see if we can keep this 5-game win streak going. So yes, that is that. But yes, here are the guys after, like I said, Neely, Arlick, and Vu after last night's victory over Long Beach State.
That last inning?
I knew what the record was, but I wouldn't say that was my goal to break the record. I'm just trying to get into scoring position for Zay and whoever's after me and knock across another run.
What's it mean to you to have that record now, to break Willie's, and there were a lot of other guys up there who've done pretty well in their career?
Yeah, it feels really good. Bloomy was giving me a hard time about it, and it kind of feels good to get that on him.
You were 3 for 4 today. The offense, just overall, another explosive performance. What's working for you guys as a unit right now?
I think we're honestly really just picking each other up. If one guy does fall short of a good AB, the guy after them is chomping at the bit and picking that guy up. So, I mean, it feels good. I knew we had it in the tank the whole time, and it was just a matter of time until we kind of let it eat like that. So, the offense is great, and then on the other hand, the pitching staff has been unbelievable. It's easy to score runs when the pitchers are dealing like that, and we kind of just feed off of their energy. So it feels really good to have these team wins like we have been having.
What's the key to keeping this vibe going throughout the season and into the playoffs?
I think just stacking wins. Like not getting ahead of ourselves and not trying to look too far in the future. And I think that's what we were doing earlier on in the season. So to really just focus one game at a time and stack these wins has been huge. I mean, Friday night against BYU, we weren't thinking about Long Beach State on Wednesday. So it's what we need to do, and it's where we need to stay, and kind of just focusing on winning each game and even breaking it down further than that, winning each pitch and winning each AB and winning each inning. And so that's what we're starting to do a little better, and it feels good.
There was a lot of, nothing to lose vibes when you guys got this hot last year around this time. Do you kind of see similarities between where you are right now, winning 5 in a row, and how you finished the season last year, just knocking off wins?
100%. I feel like we have a bunch of Bulldogs in that locker room, and so when our backs are kind of up against the wall, it's go time. And I wish we were to turn that on earlier on in the season, but I knew we'd get it going like the way we are, and so backs up against the wall, and it's go time.
Ian, for you personally, it feels like you're really starting to get things going at the plate. I know you've been through a lot this season. Just how does it feel to finally get back into that rhythm of being yourself out there?
It feels great. And our whole staff has done an unbelievable job of creating an approach for us and really hammering it into us. I think at the beginning of the season, and a lot of us were kind of trying to do too much in a way, and so they've stuck strong to that approach, and it's working. And it's what we kind of, they preach it, and we just listen and we try to replicate, I guess. So it feels good.
When you talk about quality at bats too, I think Matt early in the game found that had like a 10 pitch at bat and a walk. I mean, obviously as a hitter you love that, but what does that do to an opposing pitcher?
It's got to be terrible. I mean, these guys can probably talk about it, but we got guys in our lineup that can hammer that first pitch, and we got other guys that, everyone can do both, I want to say, but we got guys hammering that first pitch, and then we got guys drawing walks on 10 pitch ABs. So to be that versatile, it's important, and it's going to take this team a long way. They can probably speak on how tough that is as a pitcher.
Yeah, it's not fun. You feel like you're throwing really good pitches and they're just flicking them. So yeah, it's not that fun.
Max, for you, decommitting from Texas A&M, coming here, we haven't really heard a ton from you, but Willie's kind of really been, I don't know what the word is, but like torn as to your involvement in this staff, because there's so many good arms. What's that like for you, kind of playing a little bit, learning from these guys as a freshman and knowing that a lot of them won't be here next year and needing to take this step up?
Yeah, it's just, I like winning baseball. Like right now, it's a great time. And my approach this whole year has just been like, every time my number's called, like I'm going to do whatever it takes, just do my thing, and I can't control the rest, So just whatever helps the team, put the team in a good position to win, that's what I want to do.
Has it been an adjustment, given how much you were pitching in high school?
Maybe it's more of a mental adjustment. Like, you got to be sharp when you go in there. You can't start, and it's not like high school where you can start and just kind of see how you're doing the first inning. You got to be ready right away. So I think stuff like that, little stuff like that.
Any more questions?
Just kind of speaking to your guys' outing tonight, has there anything that kind of the older guys have taught you? Obviously, Carlone and Lucas Kelly have been really good this season. Is there anything that you guys have learned and taken away so far that you're trying to kind of take into these kind of outings when you're given the chance?
Just have conviction every pitch. Believe in your stuff. Don't get behind. Just go attack, and good things are gonna happen when you throw strikes. Obviously, we threw really good today and threw a lot of strikes, so good things happen. So
yeah, that's my main thing too. Just focus on one pitch at a time and just conviction. That's the biggest thing. So.
All right, thanks.
a little bit better start than yesterday? You felt like your guys weren't as prepared. You think they were a lot better prepared for the start today?
Offensively, yeah. You know, they came out and picked us up there. We gave up a 3 spot in the first, and you know, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We were going to have to play our game in order to, you know, put these guys away. You know, their our offense showed up and picked us up. So that's what teams do. That we're supposed to do that. And yeah, they swung the sticks. They took advantage in the running game. You know, we're able to steal some bases and get some free 90s and put us in good scoring positions, and guys were able to come up with some big hits. So all in all, top to bottom, pretty complete offensive game.
Talk about stolen bases. What do you think of Keaton's performance today?
I gave him the red light so he wouldn't break my record, but he ran anyway. I told him that's the only thing I'm good for, and that's the only last thing I have left at ASU baseball is my stolen base in 1 game record, and he just shattered that. So I have nothing left, officially nothing left. So no, I was very, very happy for him. Very, you know, he's just a dynamic player, and having his leg just about healthy again to where he's able to do those things, it makes his game personally much more dynamic, but it also adds a lot of extra threats in our lineup. What you have to do to hold that kid on in the middle infield, pitchers worrying about him, it just opens up so many things that don't show up in a box score. So when he's able to do that, it just adds that speed dynamic to our lineup that can come from more than one or two places. It adds that throughout the lineup, which is big.
The offense is really rolling right now. What do you think's led to that, and how big is it that the offense can put up these big numbers and kind of take some pressure off the pitchers?
I mean, it's a team thing. You know, the momentum's trying to feed off each other. Pitching's trying to feed off the offense and vice versa, and get our boys back in the dugout and have a fight at the bat rack to see who gets to go hit next. So when things are working like that, it becomes an extremely fun offense. This is kind of what we've been hoping for, you know, in urging our guys that we know we're capable of doing this more frequently. I'm not suggesting we need to put up 17 runs a night, and it'd be nice if we did, but you know, this is one of those things that we just need to continue to strive to do what we're capable of doing, and come with a disciplined approach night in and night out, and let the results happen. When we do that, we got a chance to be pretty good. So you know, it's nice when you always have a good offense in your back pocket that you're never out of a game.
Speaking of the good offense, when you see Matt King earlier in the game he draws a walk, but it's a 10-pitch at bat. How much does that boost the offense? And if you're an opposing pitcher, how much do you feel it's just kind of a frustrating at bat?
Well, I think when you look at how that inning started, and we give up 3, and then we come back and walk grounds out, and then, you know, Harry gets nicked by a pitch on his foot, I think, and then, you know, Matt King puts together a dagger of an at bat that it's just like, okay, we're here to play. You know, we're not gonna sleepwalk through 5 innings again. I'm gonna put together a good, solid, professional at bat. Fouled off a handful of pitches, works a walk, and now we're back in business again. You know, and that's how good offenses roll. They just continue to pass the torch from one guy to the next and have good at bats.
Defensive side of the ball, you were able to close out with 4 freshmen there, including the debut there for Jake Neely. How did you feel they put together the game after Wyatt came in and wasn't exactly himself those first 2 and a third?
Well, the 4 freshmen threw the ball outstanding. Jake has been in a couple games before, but this was, you know, the most length he's had, and he's been eager to pitch. There's a lot of things that he has to do to continue to refine and be ready for this, for his opportunities, and he did outstanding tonight. So that's a kid that, you know, it's a challenge when you're faced as a freshman with an older team, that you have to stay mentally sharp, and it's awful tough as a young kid that's always been the studs on their seniors in high school, and then they come here and they kind of get stuck in the cooler unless you're an immediate impact guy and you know, fit into the roster immediately, and sometimes you got to wait your turn, and that's humbling. It's frustrating for a lot of these kids, but I've been trying to preach to them that you can control what you can control. Stay ready for your opportunities. You don't know when they're coming. And those 4 freshmen, they haven't, outside of Easton Barrett, who's been in there regularly, the other 3 hadn't pitched a whole lot. And the biggest thing that I took out of that is there was no walks between those guys. They came in and attacked the zone, trusted their stuff, worked ahead, and had good results. So to me, it's a credit to them staying mentally ready. And I've said it before, some of these older guys are scuffling a bit. We need some of these young puppies to step up and fill in and get us important outs when we need them.
What did you make of Wyatt's outing? Because he did have some good stuff, striking out 6 over 2 1/3, but those 3-run shots really came back to bite him.
Yeah, from what I see, he's falling behind too many hitters. You get hitters counts and become a little more predictable that way. And when you fall behind hitters, I don't care what level you run the risk of guys being able to sit on pitches, and they get hitters counts. They can look for certain pitches and they don't miss them. So that's to me, that's what's happening. And he's just falling behind too many guys. He has good enough stuff to be successful, but we gotta continue to work ahead. When he works ahead, he's outstanding. But when he works behind, he gets touched.
The way you guys are playing right now, 5 straight wins here at home. All last 3 have been not 9-inning games, run rule wins. Does it feel a lot like how you guys finished the season last year? Just very strong, like a really put together ball club going into the postseason?
Well, we're confident right now. That's a big thing. I think these guys are starting to see the light as to what we're capable of doing, and why at times I've been frustrated throughout the year, because this is the offense that I anticipated us having, and sometimes it takes a minute to find your stride. I've said it before, this isn't a major league season where you got 162 games to figure it out and you go through stretches. This is a short 56 game season, and if you don't get it going for the first 30 games, it's like, oh, your offense sucks. And it's like, no, they don't. We got to get going. And we don't have the luxury of waiting 50 games before we start finding it. We got to get going. And, I'm sure you guys have sensed my frustration at times with these guys, because I know what they're capable of doing, and we got to push the right buttons to get them there. And there's still a couple guys that we need to get going, and they will. I'm confident in it. So, end of the day, this is, I've said it all year, this is going to be a fun offense when we start rolling, and we're starting to show signs of that.
It also clinches 30-plus wins for you for the 3rd time in 4 years since you've been here. I know they had a really long streak a while ago. I think it was like 54 straight seasons with 30-plus. What does that streak say, even though you guys haven't exactly had the end of season success that you were hoping for? What does that say about you and the direction this program is headed?
For me, it's just continuing to try to breathe confidence into these guys and continue teaching them. My goals when I took this job were to teach these young men the game of baseball the best I know how, teach them how to be young men on and off the field. You look at their grade point average being close to a 3.5 last year. Continuing to teach them right from wrong. Sometimes we're not always perfect, but continuing to learn from our mistakes. And when they leave here, they're positive influence on society. Whether it's in baseball or something else, that's my goal, and I've always stood behind that. And if we do that well enough, then the wins will follow. So the direction of the program, there's people that judge it different ways. I judge it based on the success of our kids, and how they're improving, how they're going on and being successful in life after here, whether in baseball or something else. That being said, my personal opinion is that the program is going in the right direction. Other people out there maybe have different opinions, and that's okay, but I'm confident with what we're doing. I'm confident in not only our current guys, but the young men we're bringing in here are going to continue to represent this program in the right way. And like I said, we continue to do things the right way, the wins will take care of themselves, and we'll be in the positions we want to be in.
Brody's home run, I think it was, the dugout was a little ignoring and delayed, and he seemed kind of shocked. What was the story with that?
Baseball, they're always messing with each other. So sign of a team that gets along and cares about each other. They're always, I don't know, you'd have to ask them. We had a kid swinging a heavier bat the other day because for some odd reason that I didn't know about, and now they're doing silent treatments and stuff in there. It's like, man, I don't want to know everything that goes on, but that's just a baseball clubhouse and locker room and dugout. They're having fun with each other, playing loose, relaxed, and they're playing backyard wiffle ball right now, which is a lot of fun.
Isaiah with another homer tonight, his third in a row, and I think his fourth in the last 3 games. At this point in the season, it's pretty much all career highs offensively for him. Can you kind of speak to his offensive breakout after this being his 3rd season and finally starting to see those power numbers, offensive numbers start to show?
Just another kid who's put time and dedication and work into it, and no other explanation than that, and understood that he had to get better, and there's a lot of things he needed to fix in order to continue to be consistent. There's another gear in Isaiah, and we all know that. And I think he's starting to take off and get to that point to where we all aspired him to be as a freshman, and it hasn't been easy. He's been a challenge at times, and a wonderful kid. Love him like one of my own. But man, he can be a challenge at times to get through to him offensively on what he has to do and stay consistent with it. And just because you have one good at bat, take it over to the next and stay disciplined on your approach. I mean, there was hit a homer tonight, and then he had a runner on third with the infield in and chased some balls below the zone. I think was it Vu that infield in? He hit the chopper to second. Vu did a tremendous walking lead and was able to score with a drawn-in infield, but Zay chased 2 breaking balls below the zone prior to that. I'm like, man, you just hit a homer because you got to pitch up in the zone. Stick with it. So those are the challenges that we face, not with just him, but throughout our lineup. And it's I'd go to bat for that kid. I'll have his back any day of the week, and he's progressively getting better and better. But I still think his best baseball is in front of him.
Coach, Landon put together another solid performance. Briggs as well with another nice night. I mean, how impressive you've been with the maturity and consistency that those guys have showed as just freshmen.
Landon, I've said it time and time again, he just continues to be well beyond his years from a maturity standpoint in the batter's box. Puts together great at bats. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. I think that's probably his biggest asset, is he doesn't panic with 2 strikes. And every pitch that pitcher throws him is just more information for him, and good hitters gather that information and use it to their advantage. And the kid knows what he's doing in the batter's box. He's pretty special. Briggsy, on the other hand, he's a guy that has been here for a year and redshirted last year, continues to work. He's more of a grinder, when he's in the batter's box, and he's finding his way and doing a great job. He's battling through at bats. He's more one of those guys that just has to compete. His compete factor is off the charts. He's not overly tooled out offensively, but the kid just battles. I think if he could bite the baseball and get a hit, he'd do it. He just wants to get in a fight all the time, which you need those guys. You need those grinders in the at bat, in the batting order at times. So he provides a nice spark in there with his energy and his mentality that we need. So both those kids have done a great job.
Last season, the most the team even stole in a single game was 4. Vu steals 6 tonight. How much of an advantage has it been to be able to utilize the run game like you guys have? I mean, the hit and runs have been pretty consistent. Walker's been another guy who's stolen on bases, and then of course Vu has been the stand in that area. It's a dynamic we've been trying to get here for a couple years. In the past, we've been a team that just kind of sits back and waits for the 3-run homer and puts something together that way. I've always aspired to have a team that has a good mix of speed and power, because I think they complement each other. I think that the speed makes pitchers have to throw fastballs, otherwise you're going to give up free 90s. And when you're worried about throwing fastballs to power hitters, you throw more breaking balls, which allows us to steal bases. So for me, having 3 or 4 guys in the lineup that can run, and 9 guys in the lineup that can put the ball in the seats, so they complement each other well. Just having that different ways of
being able to beat somebody is nice to have. We're not always going to be able to put together a whole bunch of consecutive hits or long balls. We're going to have to be able to beat teams with base running and being smart on the bases. So it's a dynamic that we're starting to grasp and get better at.
Coach.
And there you heard it from Willie Bloomquist. Obviously, yeah, post game, and like he said, he was the record holder. You guys held out for that, but yes, he was a record holder at 5 in the game. And I love how he started. He goes, "No, he had a red light. He was not supposed to go. Red light." And he goes, "That's all I have. Now I have nothing with ASU baseball." I do appreciate his humor. Again, that's not fake laugh. I just, again, it's, one of those little things. But no, Key and Vu, hell of a night. The 6 stolen bases. Willie Bloomquist, again, just did a phenomenal job with the team. Like you talk about running and, being able to manufacture runs, play small ball-ish. But, yeah, I mean, Isaiah Jackson, how he's been growing and, just defensively, I mean, that's been the part of the game where, when you hear coaches always say control, you control, since his freshman year, just monitoring, perusing center field and all that good stuff. And I mean, yeah, he's grown there as well too, but just absolutely awesome. To see him again, the batting average, what he did with, new hitting Coach Ellison, and but the little reminders, like Coach Bloomquist said, you just hit a home run up and you're picking up these 2 breaking balls and they're way blowing out of the zone and you're swinging at them. So yes, but phenomenal. I mean, you get what Coach is saying. So, yeah, stoked for this team. Love, again, Key and Vu, 6 stolen bases, man. Forks up to you, Mr. Key and Vu, as you now took Coach Bloomquist's record. So he has to say that you are now number 1. You took the only thing he had left. So I'm going to aim to get Kean on. We'll talk more about that, the fun of that when you're obviously your coach is an alum. We've talked to Coach Bloomquist about this. He's been obviously always gracious, been on when he's been on the show with me. So yes, but hey, that's gonna do it, man. It is Thirsty Thursday, so keep enjoying your sodas. Hope we quenched a good amount of your thirst. Obviously, baseball thirst is there. The postseason is coming, but again, focusing. They're focusing on this. I'm kind of looking a little further ahead because I don't have to play and/or coach, so that's what makes it easier for me. But postseason is coming, as you Pitchfork Lunchers know. Head into that stretch, but again, Baylor this weekend, GCU, Houston next weekend at home for senior weekend, and then close out with Oklahoma State. So it's a little more business to do, but they are trending in a very, very solid direction. So yes, that is going to do it. We are going to get out of here, and yes, yep, I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And thanks to reigning Big 12 champions women's volleyball, who their schedule came out. We'll talk about that, where they're opening the season actually next year. We'll talk about that tomorrow, a little tease for tomorrow. And we'll see. I'm waiting on confirmation for awesome Sun Devil guests. So we shall see if that shall happen as well. Nonetheless, have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday. But yes, like I said, thanks to reigning Big 12 champions women's volleyball. Yeah, first year in. They owned it. Hashtag our state, because it is hashtag our state. We all know that. And, yeah, go Devils. And as always, you guys know this. I will see you tomorrow, but forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick play.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards